everyone, it's Rebecca from Parkway Gardens. Today we're going to be talking about planting spring bulbs. Typically you want to plant your spring bulbs in September or October. You want to wait until the ground has cooled off from the summer, but you don't want it to be completely frozen yet. So for a lot of bulbs, it's going to be pretty simple. You want the pointed end to be facing up when you plant it, because that's where the plant is going to grow from. And often the bottom end will either be flat or it'll have some little leftover roots as well. And the same is true of a tulip bulb. Again, you can see the pointed end at the top and then the flat end at the bottom. For some bulbs, like the anemones, it's going to be a little bit harder to tell. And for a lot of smaller bulbs, it really doesn't matter. They're going to figure it out on their own and they're going to grow up towards the surface of the soil. The larger the bulb, the deeper the hole you're going to need to dig. Otherwise, we typically tell people that they're going to want to plant their bulb 2 to 3 times deeper than the height of the bulb. So if you have about a 3-inch bulb, you're going to want to dig your hole 6 to 9 inches deep. Where if you have something like a 1-inch bulb, you're only going to want to go 2 to 3 inches deep. Another tool that you can use to help you know how deep you're planting your bulbs is a proper bulb planting spade. So a lot of them are going to have measurements on them, so you know exactly how many inches or how many centimeters you're digging your hole. And then there's handy ones like this that also have the measurements, and they dig down into the soil, and you can actually just remove that whole plug of soil right out of there without having to dig and dig. So you can fertilize your bulbs right when you plant them. You want to add in bone meal or a bulb food directly into the bottom of the hole and mix it in with the soil a little bit before you add your bulbs. You can fertilize them again in the early spring once the foliage starts to come up. Again, I would use the bulb food for that, but once the flowers start to bloom, you don't want to fertilize them, as this will actually shorten the life of the flower. So things like daffodils, hyacinths, allium, fritillaria, and muscari, these are squirrel resistant. Something like a tulip, however, squirrels love to dig these up. So one thing that we find works really well is to scatter some of this pelletized chicken manure around the planting site. This is a good fertilizer, and it's also really going to keep the squirrels away. And because it's dried out and pelletized, it's not going to stink up your yard the way a regular chicken fertilizer would. That about covers it for planting your spring bulbs in the fall. This has been Rebecca from Parkway Gardens. Thank you very much for watching.